せかすようにうたたい幕が上がるもされた決意よ光揺れる蝶たちよJust gonna pour some more tea for myself. Alright. Episode 3. Episode 3. Banquet of the Golden Witch. Good morning. I'm quite surprised to see you still haven't surrendered. The Golden Witch has extremely high hopes for you. Have you figured out the structure of this world by now? You have no chance at victory unless you know the rules. Please enjoy your game with the witch to your heart's content. The difficulty level is equal. Equal for both you and the witch. Well, why don't we begin? Wonder why that points that out. Interesting. The vase was very beautiful, rich with history and value. Even as young as I was, it would still force me to take a deep breath when I witnessed its beauty. Of course, it was a member of Grandfather's favorite collection, so I didn't accidentally destroy its fragile beauty. Oh wait. Oops. My apologies. Let's try again. Of course, it was a member of Grandfather's favorite collection, so I didn't accidentally destroy its fragile beauty. I was always given strict orders never to touch it. But that just made me want to touch it. It looked light and yet so elegant that just glancing at it gave it an indescribable sense of dignity. I wanted to see what it felt like to touch a vase like that. However, just as Grandfather had said, it was a thing that shouldn't be touched. Something this beautiful should never be touched. Such beauty can only dwell in something so easily broken. Because of that, just a brush of a finger by someone like me would... Just like how a fun dream disappears with a poof when you wake up, it disappeared, fell, and broke into pieces. I realized that because of my own foolish curiosity, I had done something that couldn't be taken back. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the broken vase would not be returned to its original form. Grandfather will probably scold me, probably very harshly. I ended up breaking into tears and sobbing, frightened. As I did, I noticed something beautiful. Lightly dancing golden butterflies were coming toward me. As mysteriously glowing golden dots shone in the air, the butterflies began to gather one at a time. Oh, it's Beatrice! Beatrice, the reliable golden witch, had arrived! The butterflies kept gathering until they formed a cloud, and then she was there. Wait, that's not the Beatrice that we know and love! Huh? What's going on here? Oh, I love this song. Oh my god. It's playing in the sun, isn't it? I love that song. Turn it up. I love this song. She was always there for me. Whenever I was in trouble, she'd always appear and save me. Good day to you, princess. Beatrice! Oh my, why are you crying so on a day so well suited for a tea party? I broke Grandfather's precious vase. Grandfather's gonna get mad at me. I don't know what to do. I see. That is worrying. The master really treasured this particular vase, didn't he? I imagine how he'll punish you scares even me, Beatrice. Grandfather was a very frightening person, and when you failed to follow something he said even once, he would become so mad with a rage that it would make even the fallen angels in hell quiver. Since I knew that down to my bones, I couldn't do anything but tremble and cry. I possess no magic that can scoop up your fallen tears, Princess. But if you need magic that will prevent Master from scolding you, I might be able to manage something. Really? Yes, if you'll be gracious enough to believe in my power, Princess. The power of belief is the source of magic. Miracles only appear before those of great faith. I believe in your power, Beatrice, so please fix this vase. Please! If that's what you want, Princess, then leave it to me, Beatrice. When she extended her index finger, a golden butterfly softly landed there and changed its form to her favorite cane. But even that was enough to give me a small glimpse at Beatrice's wonderful and awesome magic power. She pointed her cane at a broken vase, and just like a child's lullaby, she began speaking the magic words. Come, try closing your eyes, and try to remember, what form did you have? It was surely a very, very beautiful form. Please, show me that form one more time. Were they the words, or was it a song? No, it had to be magic. After all, can't you see? The pieces of the vase are rapidly gathering together, gently returning to the place where they had been on display, resembling into their original form. Incredible! See? Now it's back to normal. This way you won't have to get yelled at by the master. I love this song. I like all the pretty songs. Okay, I like pretty things. Beatrice, you really are amazing. You can fix broken vases like it's nothing. That's not true. Returning something broken to its original form is a very, very difficult thing to do. My magic can only make it remember what it once was for a short time. But the vase turned back to the way it was, right? Correct. But that doesn't mean the vase has avoided its fate of being broken. All I did was temporarily get the broken vase to remember its form before it broke. I have not yet attained the high levels of magical power that might be used to restore a broken fate to its original form. At the time, a high-pitched scream of a servant could be heard from inside the mansion. When I went to see what had happened, I noticed several of the servants had gathered and were cleaning up the remains of the broken vase. From what they said, it seemed a black cat had snuck in from somewhere and climbed out on the vase, causing it to break. I understood the meaning of Beatrice's words. At the moment I broke the vase was broken. Beatrice let me see the vase being restored, but that was a temporary thing. It didn't mean she changed the fate of the vase being broken, and so the vase remembered its true fate and broke. However, the one who broke it wasn't me, but the cat that snuck in. That's right. Beatrice never said, "Let's fix the vase." She said she prevented the master from scolding me. The fate of the vase breaking hasn't changed, but the fact that I broke it certainly has. Beatrice cleverly saved me from danger with that magic. It's very easy to break something. After all, you didn't need magic to break that vase, Princess. Then, is fixing stuff really hard? It is. It is so hard that you broke down crying, unsure of what to do. Does that mean magic is easier to use when doing terrifying things? That breaking and killing is really easy, but fixing and reviving things is really hard? That's right. With magic, it's far easier to break and kill. That's why weak witches lose to temptation and become intoxicated with gathering easy power for themselves, neglecting their true magical training. Real magic is the power to repair, to revive, to summon happiness that has disappeared, to summon love that has grown cold, and it can even summon a smile to the face of a princess who has forgotten how. Then, Beatrice, since you managed to fix that vase, does that mean you're an incredible witch? My days of training are far from over. After all, I couldn't make the vase remember its fate for even an hour. I'm sure my teacher, who taught me magic, would have been able to restore the vase to its original form forever. So if it keeps breaking over and over, she'll be able to fix it over and over again? Yes, when one reaches that level, they're considered to be an endless witch. That is the endless level that all witches ought to reach. We offer the utmost respect to those witches and call them by that title. An endless witch! That's right. To witches with the power to mend things endlessly, the concept of breaking doesn't even exist. They are released from all the sadness caused by losing things and are promised eternal bliss. Certainly, the human world is full of sadness caused by separation and loss. To escape that sadness, people pray to gods and ask for the power to withstand their sadness, believing it to be a test. In other words, a human's life is a journey searching for a way to withstand sadness. In that case, a witch who could revive all the things could be free from all the sadness in the world. Simply put, that would mean eternal bliss. I wonder if I could become a witch like you and gain eternal happiness. You, princess? It is a long, long, difficult path, you see. I want to become a witch. I want to find happiness. Beatrice, I want to become your disciple. Do you have even a trace of doubt in that feeling? No, I want to become a witch too. I understand. Then until you get tired of me, I will make you my disciple. Will you call me teacher? Yes, teacher. That's a good answer. Then from now on, learn the depths of magic along with me. I'm also in training. Let us both learn the proper use of magic, doing our best to reach that blissful level. Yes, teacher!
Wow, what an innocent kid. I sure hope it isn't somebody that we all know. Oh my god! Okay, yeah, okay, I know I was just faking it on purpose. I'm sorry, yeah, it's baby Beatrice! Yeah. I made it obvious with the tone. On purpose. For funsies.
A dream. That face takes me back. An endless witch was it. That rank I yearned for in the past as the highest possible achievement was now just another one of my titles. No, you might even call it my calling card. Every once in a while being called that can be quite satisfying. I trained so many days to achieve that rank. It'd be a bit of a waste if I never got a chance to appreciate it.
She shook her head lightly. If the highest possible level means that there is nothing higher, an eternal dead end, the beginning of eternal boredom.
I remember what teacher told me. When one is released from all sadness, it is the same as eternal bliss. That's what makes me think that teacher couldn't ever have reached that level. Eternal bliss means eternal boredom, and that is the beginning of eternal torture. But it all depends on how you look at it. Eternal boredom is the same as a sketchbook that doesn't run out of pages. It means you can draw whatever you want, and can try to have as much fun as you want. Boredom is the worst sort of poison which kills all witches, even those great witches who are given the title Lady Fear It. It is the eternal poison that tortures them, because of the eternal bliss they reached. Now that I earned the name Endless Witch, I truly wish I could speak with teacher again. I messed up. Now that I earned the name of Endless Witch, I truly wish I could speak with teacher again. Is happiness really what lays at the end of our training? And just what is happiness? I wish I could talk about that with her now.
We could talk with Rena too.
Training has no end. When you think that you've reached the eternal level, that is exactly the time to bemoan your own immaturity. I recall those words as she answered me directly. I see. So I am immature, am I? How amusing. How truly amusing. The sound of painfully shrill laughter rang out. It was coming from my furniture. What, did they break their toy again?
Beatrice! This guy stopped moving again!
And I haven't had nearly enough fun yet. What a pathetic man.
But I haven't gotten a chance to play at all yet! Let me play! Let me play!
Be silent, filth! If you keep devouring him like starving dogs, of course he'll keep breaking right away no matter how well Beatrice fixes him up. You broke him the most, Satan. You just don't know what holding back means. My apologies, Beatrice. Please forgive my stupid little sisters.
Fix him quickly! I'm next! I'm next!
Trying to remember all 7 different voices of girls is really hard. Should I just give them all the same voice because they all have the same face? No, that would be cheating. Ah, must you keep up that infernal racket!
A single yell was all it took to make the noisy Sisters of the Seven Stakes vanish. All they do is mess around, having as much fun as they want breaking him. They only come to me to clean up afterwards. Truly this furniture never leaves me bored. Once the furniture hid themselves, all that remained was a sloppy mess, the last remnants of a broken toy. It had no form anymore. It's hard for me to even remember its original form in this state. Better to make it remember for itself, perhaps. Oh well. I waved my golden pipe. Then I spoke. I chanted. I made it remember. Come, try to remember. What form did you have? After all, right now, you pretty much look like a huge lump of scrap meat. I have no idea which part is your arm and which is your leg, unless you remember. I won't even be able to recall your face. By the power of magic, the pitiful pieces of meat began to remember what their form had been. Which part should go with which part, and where should join with where. Right, just like that. No, you should put a finger on the left hand. That's the right hand. That's it. Good. Good morning. Have you woken up, Ushinomiya Battler? How ironic that your true nightmare begins after you awaken. If you would just accept that I am a witch, you'll quickly wake up from this nightmare and I'll send you to heaven. I am the king of Mount Purgatory. There's no escape from this hell without my approval.
You call this hell? That's just useless. It's all useless.
I'm impressed that you can still talk like that after experiencing the pain of death not once, like any normal human, but more times than I could count with all my fingers. This is why I never get bored. I never get bored of you.
Yeah, no problem here. After all, I get my pick of those massive tit-nachons with the dazzling asses in my harem. Thanks to that, I'm not likely to get bored for a while now.
That's splendid. Otherwise, I would get bored too. So, my furniture. I fixed him so you can play as much as you want.
Thank you very much.
All mine!
I told you, your turn's over! I'm next! Get away from him! Wonderful, isn't it, Battler? Look how popular you are!
Popular guys have it rough. Get in line, freaks.
If you just stayed obedient instead of acting tough, this would go much easier.
Nah, he's good like this. His scream feels so much better.
Okay, let's not break him so quickly this time. Did you all hear me? You aren't running this show! Battler, let's continue where we left off, okay? After they locked Jessica's room with the master key, how did they return to the key to the corpse's pocket, which was inside the room?
Well, maybe that's it. They use a fishing line or something, saying just the key into the room through the crack of the door.
Wrong!
So naive. Of all the doors that exist on Rokenjima, none has a crack through which the key can slip.
He was wrong, right? Okay, this time it's me. It's my turn. Where should I strike?
Me, back of the hand!
No fair! Okay, then I got the back of this other hand.
I'll take the tip of his nose.
Why? Let me do too! Let me strike too!
Don't be so slow, Navaya. We always come first. First come, first serve. Okay, I'll take the top of his foot.
It's okay. They're just the 7 stakes of purgatory. It doesn't matter. They all have the same face.
Me too! I'll take his shoulder, okay?
Your sisters, right? Play nice with each other, okay? I can't believe you're still resisting. Why haven't you realized your false courage actually gets us fired up? Sorry, but false courage and being stubborn are my specialties. No matter how much you all try to confuse the issues, I definitely won't accept witches and magic. Even though you can't explain anything with human tricks? Are you stupid? Know your place. It's okay, we don't have to force him to accept it. Soon he'll want to accept it so hard he'll start crying. Even now he wants to kneel down on the ground pitifully and beg for our forgiveness.
He's broken already! Beatrice!
Well, since they know I can revive him over and over, my furniture won't even hesitate to break him. Good grief. Giving eternal rebirth and eternal death at will. Before the endless witch Beatrice, all life and death has no meaning. Even death can't become the key to escape from my cage. Come, Battler. Remember your original form again. I'll toy with you to my heart's content, understand? I see. How truly pleasant to have a toy to play with for all eternity. Could this be the endless bliss witches gain at the endless level? I see, yes. This bliss certainly is amusing. I'll revive you over and over, kill you over and over. Let's see what kind of murder play will unfold on the next game board. Come, bring it in. Let the next game begin, Ushirmiya Battler. Dang. Too bad Aneki hates cigarettes so much.
Me too! I hate it too!
Sorry, she's been pretty grumpy since last night. Please don't hold it against her.
Rudolph and Hideyoshi went out into the deck and took out some cigarettes. Ava had always hated the smell of cigarettes, but when she was in a bad mood, she got even more sensitive to them. When they decided to smoke casually until they reached the island, the two of them had gotten yelled at and chased out onto the deck. Hideyoshi tried to use his lighter, but the strong winds gave him some trouble. Rudolph took out a Zippo with a smooth gesture and let Hideyoshi fall out of the flame.
When did you start smoking cigarettes, Hideyoshi?
Just after the war. In the beginning, I was rolling them. And I started using what I sold.
So you were already smoking when you met Aneki. Bet she's always telling you to stop.
I never listened to her, so she's already completely given up on that. Man, you gotta be stubborn in times like these. Hideyoshi laughed heartily, but Rudolph snickered. After being scolded by Ava, they escaped onto the deck together with their tails between their legs. There's little doubt who had gotten her way in that exchange. She isn't usually so short-tempered. In fact, she's usually a more gentle, quiet woman. Every year she changes when this day comes.
That's so. It means she looks just like the Aneki we've all known so long.
That's just it. She's just back to being Ava of the Ushiromiya family. But that ain't the Ava I know.
Well, I know why she's grumpy. This family conference is gonna be a pain.
Got that right. There's that plan to threaten out money out of KRAUSS. You may call it a family conference, but it's gonna be a sibling fight at this rate. Before the family conference, the three of the siblings had made a secret pact without KRAUSS. They were all facing urgent situations and needed a lot of money fast. Yes, we all know this already. Do we really have to reiterate this? This is the part I get tired of, but I'll read it for the sake of the stream. But anyway, I kind of wish we get to see the side that Hideyoshi knows more about Ava. The only one they could turn to was KRAUSS, who spoke up for the Ushiromiya head now that Kinzo spent his time shut up in his study. For a long time now, they vaguely sensed that KRAUSS was taking advantage of the fact that Kinzo had lost interest in his own wealth. It is despite that he started embezzling that wealth to suit his own purposes, despite being disgusted by this and turned a blind eye to it while everything was still going smoothly for them. But now that they needed the money, they couldn't afford to let this slide. Ava asked Rudolph and Rhoda to form an alliance, and now they were scheming to take that money away from KRAUSS. Rudolph, both you and I are company presidents. We're responsible for the livelihood of our employees.
Rosa's the president too, well as a hobby.
That's right, sorry. Basically, we all got responsibilities.
Now that I've thrown it out on the gauntlet in front of the executive board, I gotta bring in the money, even if it means getting down on my knees and drinking mud.
Same here. I can't betray the employees who trusted me and followed me for so long. That's why I need to get some more money out of KRAUSS, even if I have to grab him by the neck.
Aneki and Aniki have always been at each other's throats, and now she's got to challenge Aniki head on. It's no wonder she's on edge.
So Ava really has had a bad relationship with KRAUSS since long ago?
Hasn't she talked about it? They were always at each other's throats.
I have siblings that don't talk about their issues with their spouses or whatever. Like with family issues. Because they're like, oh my god, family issues are family issues. And it's just like, you know? I don't really see the need to like hide those things. Especially if you hide things, it kind of messes you up. I don't know, I just if you come from a toxic situation, like, I think it's best to just know it and stuff. She never talks about the past, even if I ask. She probably doesn't want to remember.
I wonder why they're so messed up.
In that sense. She's always been brainy and shrewd. Her grades were good too. Compared to that, Aniki was just average. The simple fact she existed would have been pressure enough
but she kept boasting about it and driving him into a corner. That fool. Why'd drive him into a corner so openly? I'd hardly call that shrewd. No kidding. Aneki regretted being born a woman, so she probably couldn't forgive Aneki since he was chosen to succeed the head just because he was a man. She'd always boast to Dad, letting him see that she was better at every little thing. Father really is an old-fashioned person. Gender discrimination is part of his system of values. I'll bet Ava's eagerness to prove herself made him dislike her a bit. Oh, God. Fuck Kinzo. Fuck that asshole. Sorry, I'm probably gonna be a little more profanity-driven in this, because Kinzo and KRAUSS fucking pissed me off in this fucking scene. So yeah. Wouldn't you say schooling for women is like sugar and black tea? The taste is dull and flat without it, but too much ruins the whole thing. Fuck off, KRAUSS. Since you can still drink black tea without sugar, he was in effect saying that there was no need for women to study. Those infuriating words were what Nissan hurled at me in my despair, when I asked to go to college, only to be denied by father. I protested I needed to build up a proper dignity and an education as the oldest daughter in the Ushiromiya family, making college an essential next step. But when it came down to it, father and Nissan's answers were exactly the same. How conceited for a woman. I've never taken the Ushiromiya name lightly, not since I was born into it. I've never been more careful not to take my father's name, Ushiromiya Kinzo, lightly. Our family is an old one with many traditions, but lost its wealth in businesses in the Great Kanto earthquake, pushing it to the brink at one point. That was when father took control with his ingenious talent, reviving it to be an even greater than it had been before. Not once did I forget that I was the daughter of that great Ushiromiya Kinzo. That's why I always made every effort to become worthy of that name. I needed dignity worthy of the Ushiromiya family, schooling, manners, and leadership. Even if I couldn't quite reach father's level, I deepened my knowledge in economics and finance, trying to improve myself so I could be of use to him at any time. However, in the end, father never acknowledged my efforts. To father, a woman was only meant to support a man. Nothing further than that was permissible. When was it that I came to understand that? It may have been as early as my childhood years. But I was going to have to wait until I grew up before I could truly accept it. Compared to me, you couldn't have said that KRAUSS, my older brother of 2 years, worked hard at all to become deserving of the Ushiromiya family name. Yeah, KRAUSS is a dumbass. Fuck that asshole. Sorry. I'm gonna have heavy KRAUSS hatingness in this episode. I mean, in this part. Within this playthrough. This part of the playthrough. I'll try to tone it down when he has his awesome parts. But I'm not gonna have any chill at this moment with KRAUSS, because he can go fuck off. He told me many times since my early childhood that he would naturally succeed father, simply because he was born a man. He kept on repeating that, as though it formed an uncrossable gap between us. I couldn't stand it, even though I always got better grades than Nissan. Even though I always became class president, when he never managed more than vice president. Even so, Nissan was considered to be the most appropriate successor to the Ushiromiya family, just because he was a man. Of course, you could find gender discrimination everywhere in those days. No, it was even considered a virtue in that era. During that despicable time, people said that when a woman is born, she obeys her parents. When she gets married, she obeys her husband. And when she gets old, she obeys her children. Good thing I'm not having any. But that is exactly why I wanted to turn that on its head. Innocently, I kept trying to prove that I was the most fit. However, I eventually realized that all my efforts had been doomed from the beginning. Wouldn't you say schooling for women is like sugar and black tea? The taste is dull and flat without it, but too much ruins the whole thing. Fuck off, KRAUSS. I'm sorry. He's so irritating. I don't even give a shit about giving him like a proper voice. Pisses me off. Like, okay.
I've done my best not to be malicious. This is me when I'm being malicious towards someone and hateful. I would never. Okay, I did my best being as respectful as I was with KRAUSS in the other episodes, but I'm not gonna respect him in this part because he's being a douche. What do you mean by that, Nissan? Just as there are roles that only men can fill, there are also roles that can only be filled by women, correct? I do believe giving birth to children, raising them, and supporting the master of the house are roles that can only be filled by women. I can't wait until episode 5 comes out and shows how much of a great dumbass fuck up you are. Are you trying to say there's no need for a woman to study? I wouldn't go that far. Talking to an unschooled woman is tiring and nothing more. However, women are even more tiring when they're too smart. I do believe a woman as violently assertive as you would bring no end of hardship to her future husband. Are you trying to say a woman has to marry and hide in the shadow of her husband? That's none of your business. Though you are my younger sister, I can look up to you for the respect you hold for father and your desire to become a daughter worthy of him. Even I am capable of feeling respect for such noble sentiments. That's just disgusting. What's this about noble sentiments? I'd call that flowery prose coming from you. Are you pretending to be the head already? The decision that I should succeed the headship has been established from the very beginning. And yet you seem to be laboring under the illusion that you might become the head. Has the useless and reckless efforts you suspended thus far? I hate him so much. I'm sorry. I have to ruin his lines because I hate him. He deserves to sound like a dumbass straw man. Sorry. This is KRAUSS' worst scene. He deserves to be treated and looked like and depicted as a clown. Reckless efforts? Is that really bizarre for me to say I want to go to college? Yes, it is bizarre. You undoubtedly are the oldest daughter of the glorious Ushiramiya family. One day you will support that family crest by being wed to the partner most valuable for a father. However, excessive learning is not what's being asked of you. What you need are gentle feelings that will allow you to care for your husband, the ability to handle housework, a humble demeanor that will reflect well on the master of your household. These are all the skills you lack utterly. In the end, can you really call yourself a suitable daughter of the Ushiramiya family? I have no intention of being some secluded lady. I just want to become the person most capable of assisting father at his work. Then shouldn't you do so in a manner befitting an Ushiramiya family daughter? What is it with you? You're still mannish even at your age, and you never learned how to wear makeup in a way that'll please men, much less how to cook and do housework. I hear you've even been learning how to walk. That's rude. The martial arts aren't brawling. They're a perfect way to train and discipline the mind. And when it's needed, I take more than enough care to act as a woman should. What are you trying to say? That women should be slaves who work for men, so I mustn't be so forward. Okay, and another thing. Oh my god. I'm sorry, KRAUSS pisses me off so much I have to give him a dumbass, stupid voice. I'm sorry. He can fuck right off. So this scene might take forever. So, anyway. It isn't elegant to say it out loud, but I think a few unpleasant words are necessary in order to correct your mistake. So let me say it plainly. Women exist to serve men, and men exist to provide for women. A woman's job is to protect the man's back, to protect his house and raise his children. No! Good thing I'm not having any. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, another thing I have to say. It's like, okay, sorry. I think merit is way more important. So, like, Kinzo isn't that great. He's a dumbass. He should give the position to someone who does things with merit. Like Ava. Sorry, fuck off, KRAUSS.
Most women realize this without being told. They realize it on their own. But even after all these years, you still haven't realized that about yourself. So I decided to clear away that misunderstanding for you before you leave this family. You ought to thank me.
This is an insult to all women. No, wait. I have never thought of myself as a woman. I have never depended on anyone because I am a woman. How am I inferior to you, Nissan? In grades and accomplishments and everything, I'm better. So how can you look down on me when you have nothing I lack except the fact that you're a man?
It's about knowing one's place. Every day I've been raised with the readiness of one who will be the head. In the future, that preparations will surely become essential. But you are different. Even though you will marry and lose the Ushiramiya family name, you're being trapped by this unnecessary illusion.
I'm sorry. Fuck knowing what a place is. Go fuck off. Fuck being a what. It's about who you are and what you can do, not what you are. What's your complaint? That even if you had been born a... Wait, oops, sorry.
What's your complaint? Even if you had been born a man, the successor to the headship would probably still wouldn't have been you. Why are you still so unsatisfied, yet you insist on attacking me even now?
What's my complaint, you say? Nissan, you're always like that! Looking down on me because you'll succeed the head. Even though... Ah! What's my complaint, you say? I've got a billion of them. Grudges, hard feelings, humiliations that I'll never forget kept floating through the back of my mind. They all built up at the same time, coming out of my throat as a shameful moan.
What's with all this noise? God isn't the only one who holds silence as a virtue.
Father! He probably overheard our sibling fight. Father entered with a clearly unhappy face.
KRAUSS, are you fighting with your siblings again? Why don't you have the dignity to act as a leader for your brothers and sisters? How shameful! I am embarrassed to hear this from my eldest son.
In a flash, he struck KRAUSS's face. I readied myself to be struck in the same way, but I wasn't hit. My apologies, Father.
Dignity isn't the only thing you lack. There is much more. You're immature in everything, and even so you pretend like you're an adult. Realize that it's 100 years too early for you to talk like that, and devote yourself to your studies. Don't make me lament my son's incompetence anymore.
Yes. I'll continue to scribe, so I can become a person worthy of succeeding you, Father. It was as if those words were directed at me. Even when he was being yelled at by Father, he was still bragging to me about how he was special. About how he was the successor. I just couldn't stand it and finally spoke what was on my mind, even though I realized it would be improper for a member of the Ushiramiya family to do such a thing. Father! Please! Tell me how I'm inferior to him! I've tried so hard, studied so hard to become a person who won't bring shame to your name. Please tell me how I'm inferior! How can I improve myself enough to earn your acknowledgement?
That again? How many times do I have to say it before you'll understand? I expect nothing from you. Woman should be woman and just learn how to cook and sew. You aren't prepared at all as a woman. In you, I don't see a trace of the mindset needed to serve one's husband, to earnestly devote oneself to a man's needs. What good are you as a woman? Don't you realize you're the daughter of the Ushiramiya family, and yet you only want to learn things so you can act like a man? Your duty is not to imitate KRAUSS.
Don't you understand your own duty? Sorry, I have to depict Kinzo as an idiot because I also don't like him in this scene. I'm sorry, my own bias. I will not allow myself to be objective. I refuse, so I will turn this into something else. As a member of the Ushiramiya family, I won't bring shame to your name. That's it! That's where you're already wrong! Your duty is to marry out of the family and bring me a man who is profitable to me. And then you will devote yourself to your husband and give birth to children and multiply. Be a good wife who brings praise to your husband's family. Just what is it that you can do to please a man? Do you think you can make tea? Do you have any talent in cooking? You have nothing! All you have done is try and mimic KRAUSS, haven't you? KRAUSS will succeed in the Ushiramiya family. If you're still unsatisfied with that, then you are disobeying me! Are you saying you refuse to listen to what I say, even though you're my daughter? Get out! You're disinherited! I won't let you call yourself an Ushiramiya! Disinherited! Disinherited! Father, hang in there. Please calm down. Genji, could you bring some water? Yes, immediately. Ava, leave this place. He doesn't mean what he says. I will calm him down. Disinherited! If you won't listen to me, you're disinherited! I'm sorry, I can't take him seriously. I can't stand this. Father was coughing pretty badly, and Nissan patted his back, as if it was a duty that was naturally his. It was so vexing for me to let him take all that duty for himself right then. If I carelessly approached Father at that moment, then I would probably be the one to get hit next. However, I fearlessly tried to approach Father's back. Genji blocked me. Ava, perhaps it would be better if you stepped outside for now. The master is not in a good mood today. In fact, he keeps having tantrums. But... Why are my children so incompetent? KRAUSS is lacking in dignity. Ava is always a stubborn tomboy. I have no son who's like a man, and not even a daughter who's like a woman. Where did I go wrong in raising them? Why, Genji? When and where did I go wrong? I can't wait until episode 7 comes out. Seriously, Kinzo. Master, you haven't done anything wrong. KRAUSS has grown into a sturdy son, and Ava into a lovely daughter. You haven't made any mistakes. Genji, come on! Don't encourage him like that! You know he's a terrible father. Look at him. Can't even raise his children right. How can you say that? What's so lovely about her? Far from a lady, she's always acting like a man. Disinherited! Disinherited! If you don't want her, I'll take her. Father, that's just what I'm always telling Ava. Ava has promised that she will have a change of heart and act like a lady. Couldn't she postpone that decision for just a little longer? Who's a lady? Disinherited! Disinherited! Go quickly and leave this to me. KRAUSS gave me a look telling me that. I do not care about depicting them right. I don't care! Did I take the wrong path just like Father and Nissan said? True, I never studied how to be a lady. Everything I learned was done in the hopes that I could help father someday. But is that really true? Haven't I always been trying to compete with Nissan, whom I'd always had a bad relationship since I was a young girl? Because I wanted to steal his position as successor and show him a thing or two? Every chance he gets, Nissan tells me that men should be manly and women should be womanly. I've been tormented by this unfair discrimination just because of my gender, something people are born with and can't do anything about. Oh, one thing I have to point out though. I mean, it's not like Ava is nice to woman herself, which is a no-go. I resisted endeavoring to this very day to study and prove that I'm not inferior despite being a woman. It doesn't change my fact that my love of learning comes entirely from a stupid complex I got from Nissan. Father wanted me to become a lady, with whom he could go out in public and not be embarrassed. Did I betray his hopes, earning good grades, and threatening Nissan, just to satisfy a childhood resentment?
That's not it. You swore to me saying that I will become the successor to the Ushirimiya family.
You, the one whispering to me, was the me of my years as a young girl, born inside my heart on the day I made that oath. That's right. She was my only ally. When things got difficult, when I felt like I was about to get crushed by it all, she would always quietly appear and support me. When I ran to roadblocks and despaired, she would always appear and support me. When I grew up and the memories of my childhood years faded, I also started to forget my conversations with her.
I, Ushirimiya Ava, will definitely become the head of the Ushirimiya family, and I'll triumph over that irritating, arrogant KRAUSS. On that day, we promised to do our best together to achieve that.
That's right, we promised. On that day, I promised that I would become the successor to the Ushirimiya headship. On that day, when I had become overcome with sadness, wondering why I was even alive, you appeared from inside me and lent me your strength. Father didn't accept me. I wanted to teach Nissan a lesson. I believed that doing this would let me say goodbye to the wretched creature I once was. For a time, I truly believed my life had no purpose other than to be looked down upon by Nissan. It's painful just remembering those days. There a wound, a crack inside my heart. She taught me how to sew up that wound. I turned my anger into effort and improved myself, trying to become a person more worthy of the headship than KRAUSS was, trying to triumph over him by making Father accept me. It was my perfect revenge. I was vaguely aware that a woman couldn't possibly become the family head, but I thought that maybe I could prove myself valuable enough to overturn that premise. Then surely even Father would select me to be his successor. And that happened, that I'd be able to have the greatest and most perfect revenge against Nissan, who always acted like his succession to the headship was completely inevitable.
That's right. If we can manage that, the wounds in our heart will be healed. We promise each other to do our best until that day comes. And you're saying now that you're going to break that promise? Scum! Coward! If only you just give up and die.
Even though she looked at me as a kid, she was still another me. Her tongue was sharp because it was mine. It makes me pretty mad hearing that, even from myself. You have no right to speak of me like that.
Then let's use that anger to fuel our learning. Changing anger into power is my magic. I've saved you from a bunch of tight spots with that power, letting you succeed when you shouldn't have. As long as you have my magic, there's nothing you can't do.
That's right. Anger has always been my driving force. I wonder when it was I forgot that.
If you can remember me again, that magic will become ours once more. Come on. Let's turn that anger into power and study even harder, okay? I know we've still got a lot to learn. Let's go to college and study more and more, get excellent grades, and drive KRAUSS into a corner. That guy acts like we're nothing, but I'm sure he feels pretty cornered on the inside.
Let's try that again.
Let's go to college, study more and more, and get excellent grades, and drive KRAUSS into a corner. That guy acts like we're nothing, but I'm sure he feels pretty cornered on the inside. If only he'd just learn his place and die. If he did, we would become the head. Rudolph won't take the job. That kid can't go against us.
Stop that. No matter how much more I study, Father would still won't accept me.
Why not?
Father told me to be womanly. Because I am a woman, no matter how hard I tried, Father wouldn't have passed the headship on to me, even if I had been born before Nissan. No matter how much effort I put in, I can't become anything more than a woman. I won't be acknowledged. Nissan doesn't try at all, but I can't surpass him. He'll look down on me forever.
Father and KRAUSS are the worst kind of male supremacists. If only they just died.
She cursed them for my sake. Words I couldn't say so easily, she said for me. Even though I understand she's just another part of myself inside of me, I feel like she's the only ally I have who can sympathize with me. However, while sympathy might do a lot to calm my heart, it won't do anything to improve my current situation. In the end, she can only console me for however long it takes for me to be dejected by reality before I finally accept it. Thank you. You've done enough. Now that it's come to this, I'll become such a good lady that I'll shock even Father. I'll find an excellent man that Nissan can't even compare to.
You can't do that!
She rejected my timid thoughts. I understand. Because she is me, I understand.
All Father said is that he won't let a woman succeed the headship now. But even that's just a rule Father made up. Since he made it, he can get rid of it. Human feelings can change far more often than the number of sand grains on the beach. KRAUSS is such a stupid man that Father's eventually going to realize it, even if we don't prove it for him. When that happens, that wall that separates man from woman will be demolished by Father himself, who set it up in the first place. That day will surely come.
How can you be so sure?
Because that's my magic. If you just believe, this magic will surely summon a miracle. The basis of my magic is nothing more than your believing heart.
If I use this magic, then surely I'll never have to doubt until the day I die that I'll eventually become the head. But I don't know if that's the right thing for Ushiromiya Eva. Maybe I should become the kind of lady that Father wants. Someone who can proudly participate in high society. And if I'm reborn, maybe Father will change his opinion of me. Maybe I can find my own lifestyle, just as Nissan found his. And anyway, I just can't imagine my stubborn father choosing a woman like me as the head, especially if it means skipping over KRAUSS.
You don't believe?
I was just thinking, maybe I can't succeed the headship, but as a woman, I can have a child and Nissan still isn't engaged. If Nissan isn't able to father a child and I give birth to one, then wouldn't that make my child the next head after Nissan? In other words, wouldn't that mean the same thing as stealing the headship from Nissan?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. True, it'll be very sad to abandon the resolve since I had since childhood. It pains my heart to betray you, my younger self. But this is my most realistic option.
Are you throwing away your dreams? And me as well?
I'm not throwing anything away. I'm an adult. The day has come for me to part ways with you.
That's right. Ava's already become an adult. She's even forgotten how to use magic. And now she's the mother of a single child. She forgot all about magic and grant one's own dreams, and now she's forcing those dreams onto her son. Even though Father and KRAUSS ruined your life, you're trying to push your dreams onto your son, ruining his life. Is that what you call being an adult?
George is a son I'm proud of, one who won't embarrass himself no matter where he goes. The dream I wasn't granted might come true for George. Jessica's the delinquent in both her grades and her behavior. And she's a woman. If only Jessica would step down and George would become the heir. Even saying it was painful. Am I just forcing my own regrets onto George? It's not like I have any right to look down on Jessica with scorn. Wasn't I just as horrible for hitting her with the same words that had caused me so much suffering? I understand. I understand. The desire to triumph over my brother is part of my own personal revenge. I can't use George for that. So I'll take revenge myself. I have a plan to cheat Nissan out of some of his money with Rudolph and Rosa as my allies. I'll surely be able to get back at him. In any case, I'm sure Nissan is embezzling father's assets.
What a boring plan. Why don't you just give up on that and cry yourself to sleep? We will become the Ushiramiya family head. Don't mistake what your dream is. And believe me when I say it'll definitely come true. Believe in my magic.
If I believe, I wonder if any power will dwell in that magic.
It will. My magic can grant any wish with certainty.
I'll believe. I'll believe, so create a miracle with that magic. If you don't, the hole in my heart will never heal.
Okay, then listen well. Listen to my magic words. And understand, if we can solve the riddle, we can become the Ushiramiya family head. So lend me your ears and listen carefully.
Notice how she also has blue eyes. Okay, compared to like, just like, okay, like, so, just another note. Okay, anyway.
Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key.
Ava, it looks like we're about to arrive.
When Kiri shook her shoulders, Ava jumped and awoke from her doze.
I'm sorry. I was half asleep. Sorry to scare you.
Aunt Ava, you were out cold. Did you get up early this morning?
Maybe. I let you see all something embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Well, I'd say it's pretty impressive you were relaxed enough to sleep. Ballard kept yelling, "We're gonna fall! We're gonna drown! Can't get bored with this guy around." Shut up! All humans have at least one thing they're weak against. Ballard and Jessica came in messing around. Rudolph also made a face as if asking, "Are you okay?"
Get a hold of yourself. When you see Dad and the rest, all that sleepiness will go right out of the window. Let's all give it our best, okay? That's right. We have to keep it together, especially this year. That's it. Let's all tighten our assholes and go.
Rudolph said these strict words in a small voice only Ava could hear. Failure would not be tolerated in this year's family conference. All their companies were hanging in the balance. Even Rudolph's face looked a little tense. Ava's expression probably looked tense as well. "Mom, I have our luggage. Let's go up onto the deck."
Thank you. You really are considerate, George.
Why are you thanking me so suddenly? It's not like you, Mother. Ava! George! We're there! Grab our luggage.
Ah! We're there!
Hey, Maria! Stop running or you'll trip! It seems Maria was already getting excited. She ran circles around Hideyoshi, escaping from Rosa, who was trying to catch her. What is it, Mother? Do you feel sick? George, take our luggage and go on ahead. Your mother's probably feeling anemic, so I'll lend her a hand. Really? Okay, I'll head out first. Something odd in Ava's expression told Hideyoshi it hadn't been a pleasant awakening, so he made George go on ahead. Rudolph's family and Rosa's family also went up onto the deck, leaving only Ava and Hideyoshi inside the boat. Ava had a vague expression on her face, as though she still hadn't been able to escape from her daydream. What's wrong? Why the meek face?
I wonder if I'm using George as a tool for my own revenge. I wonder if my childish hostility toward Nissan has caused me to treat that child's life like a toy. What have I done? What have I done?
That isn't true. George is our wonderful son. He'll always perform admirably wherever he goes. Ava, even if you let your own hopes get in the way for a bit, everything turned out okay, man, hasn't it? You haven't done anything wrong. In fact, George is grateful for the strict discipline you gave him, right?
Really? Hey, really? George doesn't think I'm a terrible mother, does he? Does he? Does he?
He's never said anything like that, not even once. Just worrying too much. Hideyoshi, everyone has left the boat. Oh, did you lose something? Do you need a hand? Kumasawa had come to check on them when they hadn't gone up to the deck. Hideyoshi hid Ava behind his back so her expression wouldn't be seen. Yeah, sorry, my necktie pin just got a bit crooked. We're fine and we'll be out in a sec. Wait outside for us. Is that so? Then I will wait outside. Even though she hadn't really understood, Kumasawa realized something had come up and disappeared so she didn't trouble them any further. If they stay here any longer, they would probably make everyone else worry too. Thinking about this, other than everybody in the adults, the siblings, if I had to speculate about their childhood, they probably have, other than the animosity, they probably have a very distant relationship where they're not very vulnerable with one another in that sense. So no one ever sees like a softer side of Ava, because like when people hate each other, they'll never be able to see another side to them because they're already dead set in treating them a certain way. And like Kinzo's house probably has never had like set up any type of thing where they could be open or show another side of themselves, because like Kinzo's definitely not a vulnerable guy. He's a terrible asshole. It's like, this is what I mean when I say he can only blame himself. It's about time to go. We'll make George and the rest worry.
George really doesn't despise me?
Yeah, nothing of the sort. In fact, he's very grateful. Did you have a nightmare again?
Yes.
Hideyoshi knew that Ava was often tormented by nightmares. They always grew more marked on days leading up to the family conference. Hideyoshi knew that Ava's relationship with KRAUSS was still full of antagonism to the point of being traumatic, and that she still couldn't let go of the feelings she had as a child. In other words,
how do you know your family screwed up? All your children are fucked up. And that's Kinzo's fault. Like, I don't care what excuse Kinzo has.
That was a dream. I'm with you now. If I grasp your hands like this, that dream will go away. Right? Look, I'm holding tight.
That hurts. Thank you. I'm fine now. Let's get off the boat.
Yeah, let's get off the boat. Everyone's waiting for us.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I yelled at you about the smoke from your cigarettes just now.
Come on, you normally wouldn't apologize for that sort of thing. You're all frail after having that dream. Don't worry about it. I was wrong for not realizing that smoke was affecting you.
Have you started to hate me?
No way, no way. If I hated you after something like that, we wouldn't have lasted 3 days. Come on, stand up, stand up. Let's get off the boat.
I really enjoy little moments between them like this. Just imagine if the Ushiramiya family somehow got family therapy and they all made up and stopped being assholes toward one another. Cause I like them all, honestly. If KRAUSS would just stop being a dick. I like KRAUSS sometimes. But he was a dick in that other scene, okay? Okay? If you're being a dick, you deserve it, okay? I'm not sorry for that.
Hideyoshi, Ava, is everything alright? Are you not feeling well? This time it was Goda. It looked like they kept everyone waiting too long after all. Even Ava had to stand up without grumbling now. She had to stop forcing her bad mood onto her husband, causing him any more trouble, because that wasn't something a good wife would do. Is everything okay? If it's a matter concerning your health, shall I call Dr. Nanja?
Thanks, but I'm just feeling a little anemic. I'm fine now.
It's a woman's disease. Don't worry about it.
Come on. Don't say stuff like that in front of people. It's embarrassing.
Oh, sorry. Eva elbowed Hideyoshi in the gut. By the time, her normal expression had returned, which allowed Hideyoshi to relax a little. I just want to see Eva happy. The bright sunlight outside almost made her dizzy. A small plank for getting off the boat was lowered, and Goto was waiting there, smiling and ready to lend them a hand. Please, Eva. Your hand.
Thank you.
Welcome to Rokkenjima. Welcome back.
Huh?
When she left the boat, it seemed to Eva as though she heard the voice of her younger self. No, it hadn't seemed that way. Someone had told her, welcome back. After becoming a shameless adult, the voice of her younger self was distant.
What am I living for? What could I do to release myself from this obsession?
Hideyoshi heard her talking to herself. When Hideyoshi held on tightly to Eva's shoulders, this firmness alone told her there was no need to say anymore. Maybe it was because the typhoon was getting closer. The lively cries of the seagulls which usually greeted them when they arrived couldn't be heard at all.
Honestly, everybody should just not go to the island anymore and just... Rather than Kinzo cutting them off, nah. If they had decided to just live more normal lives without trying to make businesses or whatever and trying to be all ambitious like Kinzo or whatever, and just went to live off of like normal lives instead, and just cut off Kinzo from their life, I think that would have been better for all of them. And like they just separated and tried to just better themselves, but it's too bad. That really sucks. Or something, I don't know. Or maybe like they cut off and maybe like the siblings can make up and they can get along. I need an AU where the siblings are all like happy, other than in the Golden Land where or whatever or something. I don't know. I hear a cricket. I hate the sound of crickets. You might not hear it, but I do, and the sound of crickets pisses me off. Did I read this part? All the goats, low-level furniture in service to Beatrice. They're great in number but silent and lacking personality. They obediently follow their master's orders. Their sensors are closer to those of animals than humans. They're surprisingly dull wit, which sometimes leads them to misunderstanding orders. They have a nature massive build like a they have by nature a massive build like a minotaur and fearsome superhuman strength. They may be low-level furniture, but the ability to summon an inexhaustible supply of them makes them extremely convenient. I hope I don't have to re-record this because of this stupid cricket that won't shut the fuck up. I hate crickets with a boiling rage. Okay, so we'll just save, and I'm done for today. Bye bye.